Alright guys, how's it going? Well, this video's going to have nothing in it to do with Liverpool Football Club. Well, not directly. It's going to be a bit more, You'll Never Walk Alone, YNWA, which is very symbolic and part of being a Liverpool supporter. Not that many Liverpool fans understand this, especially when you see them online, how they speak to each other and things like that. But when my mum was in hospital many years ago, you know, some of you will know about that. And she eventually passed away. She went in, she was 54 when my mum went into hospital for a week's, 5 days, planned stay. Things went wrong. She wasn't seriously ill when she went into hospital, but she became seriously ill while in hospital. And she spent 8 months in there and eventually died. Now, you know, I spent a lot of time living at the hospital, on the hospital floor or in hotels nearby or whatever. And I'll never forget one Liverpool supporter, I wish I knew who said it. And he messaged me on you know, and he said, look, he says, YNWA Dunk, it's not a slogan, it's a way of life for us. And it always stuck in my memory, that my mind, you know, I've mentioned it many times. And the reason I'm mentioning these things is today is GCSE results day, apparently, you know, in England. I don't live in England anymore. But I've seen, you know, a lot of these posts today, you know, from parents saying how proud they are of the kids and all that, which is basically them just telling their friends, look how, you know, successful or good or, you know, how well my kid's done, which is understandable. And, you know, it's nothing better than being a proud parent. But, you know, if you're a young Red that's watched my videos or watches my videos, first of all, thank you, because I'm sure that I'm not the right demographic for you, or is it the other way around? You know, I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, because I'm old and miserable, and you maybe want to see the young people and stuff. But thank you if you do watch my videos. If your mum and dad, or your mum or your dad, or your mum or your dad, oh, I don't know, whoever looks after you, whoever brings you up, isn't able to post today that you've done really well, because you've bombed at your exam results or something like that, or you know, if you've realised that you've fucked up or something like that, this video's for you, you know, because I want you to know that in the grand scheme of things, it means nothing. It really does. And you can retake the exams, I believe. You used to be able to when I was a kid, you know, you can do that. And, you know, maybe you need these qualifications, or as Rafa Benitez would say, qualifications, you know, so maybe if you want to go into further education or whatever. So maybe you need to do that. But don't worry about it. You've got your entire life, you know, ahead of you. Now, I know people that are extremely well qualified, but they are thick as fuck, right? And I know people that failed all their exams and are some of the brightest people around. And you're probably thinking, I don't understand that, Dunk, what do you mean? Well, because I think common sense and having common sense is the greatest qualification in the world. If you've got common sense, you know, I don't know, you know, I feel like saying if your mum or your dad, your parent, your guardian has brought you up with common sense, you're laughing. But I'm also conscious that some people maybe didn't have or don't have that kind of figure in their life. So I don't want to make you feel worse by saying, you know, I'm sure you've been brought up with this, that and the other. But if you haven't, right, you've still got yourself, right? You've got yourself. And you'll realise as you go through life that that's all you need really sometimes is yourself, if you can keep level-headed. But anyway, that's, you know, by the by. And this video isn't a wishy-washy, everything's going to be all right video to tell you that, to patronise you that, to make you think everything's going to be all right when it really isn't. Life's hard, you know, whether you've got qualifications or not. But if you've got common sense, you'll be all right. If you haven't, you need to wake the fuck up. Do you know what I'm saying? That's true. All right. So I won't worry too much about the little piece of paper with the GCSE results on. I couldn't even tell you what exams I passed at school. What I do know is that having left school, I was never required ever at any time to present that piece of paper to anyone. Never needed it. Could have lied about it anyway. Yeah? I don't know. I don't know what it's like over there now. Common sense. It's the most important thing. And also, it's not what you know, it's who you know. Trust me on that one, right? Now, let's take a look at this, right? Some famous people who failed their exams, right? Richard Branson, Simon Cowell, Alan Sugar, Lord Alan Sugar, Benedict Cumberbatch, Jeremy Clarkson, Sarah Millican, we'll put her in there, she's funny, I like her, Cameron Diaz, Deborah Meaden, J.K. Rowling, Robbie Williams. I mean, he's done all right for himself, the lad. He's a bit annoying, like, but wish I was a pound behind him. Talking of annoying people, there's Russell Brand as well, Steven Spielberg, Abraham Lincoln, Charles Darwin, Jon Snow, Kate Moss, Oprah Winfrey, Prince Harry, ooh, Stephen King, and so on, and so on, and so on. You can fail your exams, and you can go on and achieve anything you want to, if you want to. Now, if you're going to feel sorry for yourself all your life and do fuck all, nothing's going to happen. You've got to go out there and you've got to find it. You've got to do it yourself. Do you know what I mean? And it doesn't matter what your background is. You know, I was brought up on a council estate, 4 council estates as a kid, you know, by just my mum. Because my real dad wasn't around, really. He existed, and I think he still exists today, but I wouldn't know. I've not spoken to him for over 20 years. He was just one of those people that maybe he didn't understand what being a dad was, whereas I can't understand that because being a dad is the most important thing in the world to me. So I don't understand that. But my mum met someone else who was my stepdad that became my dad. You know, it wasn't blood, but he brought me up. You know what I'm saying? And what I'm trying to say here is it don't matter what your background is. It don't matter whether you got a mum, whether you got a dad. We all get robbed, or many of us have had, you know, well, I'm not including myself in this, but many people have had difficult upbringings maybe, right? It don't matter. It don't matter. If you want to succeed, you will succeed. You will succeed. And there's far more opportunities today, I think, than ever. And I'll tell you why. People bang on about, oh, you need an education to go to university or do that. I didn't go to fucking university. I've done all right for myself. You know what I mean? It wasn't even an option for me. But I tell you why there's more opportunities today, because as proven, right, you can go on the internet and you can, create a YouTube channel. And if you're passionate, if you're knowledgeable about your passion, and you're not just trying to make money out of people and mislead people, you will succeed. And I'm not a YouTuber. This is just an extension of Cop Talk. But Cop Talk succeeded because it was my passion and there was no objective, no targets. In 25 years of doing Cop Talk, I've never looked at a spreadsheet once, or I couldn't tell you anything about it. The way I look at it is if my lights come on, my electricity comes on, when I press that light switch behind me, I'm doing all right. Do you know what I mean? And like I said, I come from 4 council estates. My family had fuck all. My grandparents had nothing. But today, if you can get a mobile phone, right, you can be making videos on YouTube and you can make a living from that. Now, I'm telling you right now, if I was a young kid today, 16, 15, 16, 17, right, and if you're 17, you might not appreciate me calling you a kid, but if I was in that age group today, I'd be all over YouTube. That's why there's so many of these fuckers on here doing it. Making videos about every Liverpool subject in the world because they're making money. You can't blame them. But the point I'm trying to make is, if you're passionate and you do that, people will support you. Yeah? They'll support you. You don't need to worry about GCSE results. You know? If you've got a career path that you're thinking, well, I want to be this one day, Dung, then admittedly, then you might have to do your retakes, retake them and study them. Going to college, when I was like a kid, you fuck around when you're at school. Do you know what I mean? Fucking exams. If I fail these, I'll just take them again, I'll go to 6th form. But when you go to college, it's far more serious. You can't dick around and stuff like that. Well, you're not supposed to. It's not like being at school where they've got a legal obligation to look after you. So if you need to do retakes, then fine, you do retakes, but you're going to have to work at them this time if it's part of a career path that you want to pursue. If you want to go to university, if you want a particular job, you know. But if you don't think that this magic piece of paper, you know, not having it with, you know, great results on, don't think that's going to hold you back in life. Because common sense and who you know will get you where you want to be. I really do believe that. So I've gone from a council estate, right? And if it worked for my mum renting me a computer from Radio Rentals, right, when I was, you know, back at college days, if you like, if it hadn't been for my mum working her ass off and doing that, and she worked 4 jobs for me as a kid, being a single parent, if it hadn't been for her when I was in my late teens, I wouldn't be here today making this video for you. I won't be here on the Mediterranean. I've got a lovely house out here. I mean, hey, you know, I'm not wealthy, but I'm not poor either. Do you know what I mean? I would say I'm just average. So just because I've got a nice house and everything, don't mean that I'm fucking, you know, rolling in money or anything like that. You know, I have the same challenges as everybody else. But the thing is, when I succeeded with Cop Talk, I was one of the first to do it. And the best, right? So big companies threw a lot of money at me. So I've got my house and I've got my independence and I got away from the council estates. Now, there's nothing wrong with being on a council estate. I'm just telling you that's how I started in life. So there was nobody that, you know, gave me anything to help me get where I am today. And I certainly didn't get where I am today because of GCSE results. That is for sure. I got where I am today through, you know, my mum renting, if you like, on finance, a computer and me teaching myself how to do things. So if you've got a passion, it might be Liverpool Football Club, it might be another sport, it might be something else, who knows? Get one of these. Someone help you get one, right? I'd help you get one if you were genuinely struggling and you couldn't get one and you had nobody in your life. And you sit at home and you record yourself and you practice. And you watch my first videos on it, I was stiff as anything. There's a joke in there somewhere, girls. But today, just stick it on, you have a laugh, don't you? Do you know what I mean? There's some awful, nasty people out there. They're going to go, what, your video is shite. It don't matter about them, does it? But if you're a kid in that age group today, you've got those abilities to, you know, be a TikToker if you want to be, or a YouTuber, or stream games on whatever. If you're good at it, if you're genuine, people will support you. So I wish I had your opportunities when I was your age. Do you know what I mean? So I'm not sure I've done a very good job of telling you, but this is the thing, you know. I'm authentic, I'm real. I could stop this video and go, right, where's my script? You know, I want to say this, I want to do that, I'm going to edit it, make it all fancy. No, I'm just stood in this kitchen with that shit picture behind me, telling you what I think. And the message is, you know, maybe you failed your exams today and maybe your dad or your mum or whatever on your case telling you you're fucking useless and all. I mean, they're going to tell you that. You know, my dad used to tell me things like, yeah, you're letting us down, because he was, you know, a senior police officer. You know what I mean? My mum would be in background going, oh, ignore him. Don't listen to what he's got to say. You know what I mean? So your parents are always going to be on your case, whatever you do, even if you succeed. But don't worry if you failed your exams. Honestly, don't. Common sense. Like I say, some of the most educated people that speak exceptionally posh, you know, they've got degrees and they did all the A-levels, all that, right? Complete thick as fuck in reality when it comes to common sense and getting by in life. So I'm not sure how you obtain common sense. I don't know how you do that. But if you could bottle it up and sell it, I reckon I could make a few bob from it. But common sense is, you know, if you could get that qualification in life, then that's what I would be telling you to sign up to. So don't give in if you feel like your entire world's collapsed or if you feel lost or anything. And you'll never walk alone, remember. So my email address is dunk@coptalk.com. You know, you can email me anytime and I'll help you. There's people in these comment section. I guarantee you, if you put something in this comment section, I don't know what I'm going to do. People would reply to you because they know what you never walk alone means. All right? So, fuck the system. Fuck the system. You don't need, I don't want to encourage you to say, like, not to have your exams. right? But what I'm saying is your life doesn't depend on it. You need your exams if you want to progress through maybe further education, or you need to be educated in a particular field if you've got those desires and those ambitions. And that's good if you've got that. But it's time to stop fucking around if that's the case. All right? If not, there's lots of things you can do out there to get by in life. And but if you're just a lazy, feel sorry for myself person, then enough for you. You'll have nothing in life, and what you'll become is just an internet troll, being jealous and envious of other people around you. So maybe you did have people in your class at school or your year at school, and you're seeing all their posts today about how clever they are and how successful they are. Don't fucking pay attention to them. I went to school and there was loads of people that achieved far more than me in terms of qualifications, I guess. And I look at them today and I think, well, I won't swap my life for yours, pal. That is for sure. All right? So keep your chin up. In my case, it's chins, but I'm sure as a young person, you've only got one chin. Well, you better have, or else, you know what I mean? McDonald's probably ain't the best place for you to go and work if you've got more than one chin. And what's wrong with working at McDonald's anyway? People always take the piss out, at least you've got a fucking job. You know what I mean? So the message in the video is, don't worry, you'll never walk alone. I've got your back, if you're a young Liverpool supporter or anybody. And everybody here on this channel has as well. And just remember that name, they're just some names I've read out to you of people that failed with various exams at various levels, were dropouts, and maybe weren't, expected to succeed. And I look at some of the teachers that I went to school with, and I was all right at school, but some of the teachers, you get them teachers a little bit waffy or fucking assholes, whatever. And they told me nothing, I would go nowhere in life. And I look at them and I think, I did better than you in the end, didn't I, you fucker? You know what I mean? So don't worry about it, guys, right? Common sense, determination, common sense, determination, and you'll be all right. And like I say, there's so many opportunities in the world now. If you can get access to a mobile phone or something like that, you can make money from YouTube. That's why some of these people are making so many videos about Liverpool Football Club, because they're raking it in. But you have to decide as well, morally, where you want to be. Do you want to be one of them, where you're just making as much money as possible because you're churning out video after video? Or do you want to be a bit more humble and say, no, I'm all right, people look after me if I'm authentic and they like my content? It depends what you want to be. But certainly at that age, if I was that age now, I wouldn't be going and taking that. I wouldn't be resetting exams. Fuck that. I'd be thinking, I'm out of school now, I'm going to have a good time, and I'm going to make, my own career path. I'm going to do that. When I was at school, I didn't think, when I grow up, I'm going to be a div on the internet. Fucking internet didn't exist. So the entire path that I thought I was going to follow didn't even work out. I was going to leave school, go in the army, and then become a police officer like my father. That was my plan, and like my grandfather, both of them, his dad, he wasn't my real grandfather, but you know what I mean. His dad was a senior police officer in the Bahamas and also the UK. My dad was a senior police officer, so it was therefore I wanted to do that. I wanted to be old Bill, But when I left school, my dad was like, don't go into this job, son, it's shite now. It's all paperwork, it's dangerous, you'll get no thanks for it. And he put me off it a lot, but I still wanted to do it. I wanted to be like a traffic copper or maybe a dog handler or something like that. I don't like nasty people, bad people, you know what I mean? So I wanted to do that. So when I left school, I went in what was called the Junior Army, the Royal Corps of Transport, which is like, it's not like cadets or anything, it's called the Junior Army, you know what I mean? So you've probably got cadets, junior army, senior army or whatever. And during my time in during training for the junior army, the Royal Corps of Transport, I sustained a medical injury, a hip injury, which saw me, I think it was called conditionally discharged. I can't remember, some of the guys on here might know, it's a long time ago, which meant that I had to leave the military, and that prevented me, it completely threw all my plans, up in the air, if you like. And I was on the verge, like the sergeant the sergeant that ran our squadron or whatever it was called, I can't remember. I think we were called Connaught Troop. I can't remember, 90 Squadron, maybe something like that. I don't know. I was a kid when I was 16, but the point is, he said to me, like, you know, I want 2 people to be, you know, like, to be promoted, you know, and you're one of them, sort of thing. So I knew I was doing well, but, you know, I got medically discharged. Ended up going to college, dropped out of college through choice, didn't like it. Couldn't pursue that path of becoming a police officer, if you like. Maybe I could have done later in life, but did a few things here and there, or, you know, ducking and diving, doing my own stuff. And then started Cop Talk, which exceeded all expectations and totally blew up in the 90s. And this is where I am today. So this was never planned, but I'm the sort of person that if I stop doing Cop Talk today, I will succeed tomorrow in whatever I do, because that's what I am, that's what I do. You know what I mean? So don't worry. If I can do it, anyone can fucking do it. You know what I'm saying? I don't think I've done a very good job of explaining it, but don't worry, you'll be all right, you know? A piece of paper with saying A, B, B, whatever, it means fucking nothing. Maybe it means it if you need to progress. I don't know. I just had my dinner, I spilled a bit of dinner on me. That's it, that's all I wanted to say. You know, it's an important message, really, and it's about community, and I know there's a lot of young Liverpool supporters watch my videos because they comment all the time. I just want them to know that I'm there for them today. We are there for you today, and don't fucking worry about it. You'll be all right. You won't be all right if you stay in bed all the fucking time, though. I'm feeling sorry for me. That's not going to help. You don't deserve to be all right if you're going to be a fucking div, right? But if you've got something about you, you'll be all right.